switch over. There it goes. Oh, and you know what? Let's do that there.
Yeah, he said let's do that there, whatever that
I had to
there
make
is.
my thing full screen because we're what's the word I'm looking for? Amateurs.
Hey, no, I'm a novice.
I'm gonna say amateur because novice just sounds worse.
Hey, I ain't
So
knocking you, you know what I'm saying? You know, who am I to knock you, you know what I'm saying? Smell like that.
ridiculous. All right.
What episode is this?
I,
Five? Six?
I want to say six.
I think it is six.
I'm gonna say six. Anyway, well, I apologize because I didn't know that we had started already. So this is behind the scenes.
Hey, so we know we getting y'all. This is, you know what I'm saying? We usually make you pay for what they do now. The rich folks do the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on. I gotta get my coffee, yeah. My coffee sitting right over there. Hold on.
You
One second.
seriously started this thing when you weren't even ready yet?
I was ready. I just hit the wrong. It was you weren't ready. There's a difference. Hold on.
Crazy. All right. Well, this is a behind the scenes look of us getting ready for the podcast because I guess I wasn't ready first. So that's how it goes sometimes. So in the meantime, I'm gonna pull up everything I. Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, I just put it right there in my other microwave. So I put it in that microwave, and then I took it out, and I did forget where I put it. Put it in my lazy boy chair.
Okay.
So
So you ready? You
yeah,
ready?
we got a lot to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize. After 4 minutes, we are ready. It's
Mm-hmm.
yours truly, your boy, Mr. Smack Like That, or Tony C. the Sun. And of course, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Apex Hunting Kyle Robertson. What's going on with you?
What's up? And it's Robertson. Listen, sir. All right,
I've
you
said
got.
his. The crazy part was I knew I said it wrong, but I was like, maybe he don't catch that. I know what you're like. I know what it is.
I know.
I
I
said
know.
it wrong, and I was like, maybe he ain't gonna catch that. This
Listen.
guy never lets me live anything down
Nah.
when it comes to these names. I
Never.
could say a name and I can know that I kind of said it wrong, but you know how you just go with it. Not that, not him.
No.
He got to tell you. He got
Well,
to tell you.
you got to know you're wrong. Where's my water? Oh, I got my water here. See, I
See,
got my water and I
he's
got
not
it
ready.
in
He's not ready,
in
ladies and gentlemen.
something that's not listed, so it's okay. I don't got to cover up
Oh yeah.
nothing.
Oh no. See. The good thing is, yeah, you did it the smart way. So I have. Ooh, before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, we got a lot to. Y'all see this mug? Nothing special about this mug, right, Cal? You wouldn't say nothing special about it.
No.
There's nothing at the bottom of it. Nothing. There's nothing special about this mug, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this mug cost me $16. That's pretty, to me, expensive for a mug that's just, it doesn't heat itself up. None of that. So $16 for a regular, it's got to be maybe a 16-ounce mug, maybe something like that, right? That's kind of expensive, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So guess who mug this is?
Whose mug is it?
NASCAR Hall of Fame mug. Now, but you wouldn't know that, right? Would you know that?
Whose mug was it?
It's mine.
Yeah.
I've only used it twice.
You mean you got
And
it at the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
I got it at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and it said NASCAR Hall of Fame. So I did a gentle wash because they tell you don't put it in the dishwasher. So of course, me being the clean person I am, before I put anything in there, it's been sitting on my shelf since I've been back from NASCAR Hall of Fame back in April. It's been sitting there. So I was like, oh, I want to use it today.
Okay.
The stickers, it was a sticker. It wasn't like engraved. It wasn't like whatever they use so you can wash it at least a couple times. I did a gentle wash in my sink. Why was it the letters peeling, literally peeling like a sticker? I said, ain't you mother lying? I know that's one right, son. Smell like that. I talk about upset. I'm still upset. I sent NASCAR. I sent you an email. It's in my Smack Like That Gaming. Yeah, I sent you an email about that.
Let's see if they actually respond to you.
I have an issue for that because say if I never, you know what I'm saying, it could have been anything. It could have been for somebody I bought. How would I feel giving a gift to somebody and they're like, the fuck? $16 for a mug. I can get $16 mug and have my logo on it. What the? So that pisses me off. I hate wasting money on things I don't want to spend money on. I wanted to
Hmm.
spend money on a memorabilia, right? I'm going
Hmm.
to use it. I'm sure it's going to be. I have Fast and the Furious mugs that I still have
Hmm.
from probably a decade ago. So it's like for me to have this and used it once, and the day that I used it, the letters peeled off. Trust me, NASCAR, I'm upset at you.
So with that transition, talking about spending money, let's get into some
Yes.
F1 rumor mill.
See
This man went on a
see how we
tangent.
connected those two. You see how we connected those
You
two
see
together.
how I had to do that transition there
I
because my
love it.
co-host just gets
I will get
sidetracked.
yes. I will. I will. I
So,
just had to let people know. I wasn't sidetracked. I just
uh-huh.
felt it just had to be known about what was going on.
Yes, so the rumor mill here, Max Verstappen and George Russell. This is what's going on here. George Russell, who is the lead driver right now at Mercedes, has not gotten a contract, an extension or a new contract yet from Total Wolff. So he's trying to figure out why. And Toto has, well, first I guess George kind of speculated saying he hasn't gotten a contract extension because Mercedes is looking to sign Max. Total Wolff came out and said, "Yeah, we're looking to sign Max Verstappen." So the question is George Russell driving for his seat, or is Kimi Antonelli going to be put on the shelf for a year if they can get Max? And what kind of insane, divisive team implosion is going to happen if you have Max Verstappen and George Russell driving, on the same team? And Toto, his response was, "I dealt with Nico and Lewis, so how worse can it get?" Nico and
I,
Lewis started off as best friends.
okay.
George and Max have never liked each other to begin with, so that should be interesting.
I think when you have those two who don't like each other, right, to an extent, I think because they're both competitive in their sport. I think we've seen it in basketball, mainly basketball, because football. Eventually, you get it's a lot of moving parts. You
Hmm.
got what 50 something people, 60 people on a team, 50 something people on a
For
team.
what?
For football, it's like
Oh yeah,
50,
53.
yeah, 53 on an
Yeah,
active roster, right? Not
yeah,
including practice squad. So when
yeah,
you have all these people, that's different, but more playing parts of like racing when
yeah,
it's only so many in the seats. I think in basketball where it's 12 to 15 guys, not including the coaches. I feel we can have that where it's okay. I think it helps the team out because iron sharpens iron, right? So I'm thinking, granted, they don't like each other. It's been put out that they don't like each other.
yeah,
So why can't I think that could work? Some people I can understand why people would think it couldn't, but I can see why it could because I mean George Russell is a good driver. Is he Max Verstappen? It's different.
yeah. I get your analogy on iron sharpens iron. I, in this case, I don't know if that is what could happen because if it comes down to it, like with McLaren today, they were able to race each other straight up. You know, if it comes down to those two are fighting for first and second in the championship, or fighting for a race win, and they say you are free to race, what is going to happen? Because
Okay,
they both know how to be pretty cheeky at the wheel.
but that's what you. They're not gonna come out and say it. Only some of them.
What?
Who won it at the end of the day, right?
No, you don't want teammates to crash into each other because in
I get that. I
F1,
get that.
the team championship is what's key, not the driver championship. All the money is in the team championship. But yes, you want to have fireworks.
What
So
they say, publicity, or either way, right? I'm gonna get my publicity regardless of how I get it.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely gonna be something. But yeah, so with all that being said, the race was interesting. Lando Norris had a hell of a pole lap. He qualified first with I think he had about over a half a second gap to second place. So it was pretty good qualifying lap by Lando. The first two rows it was McLaren Ferrari McLaren Ferrari.
Okay.
So and then Verstappen qualified in seventh. So It was going to be an uphill battle, and they were at Red Bull's home track, which Verstappen has taken the last four poles in a row.
This
21, 22, 23, 24. He had poles. So as you can see, Red Bull's on the back foot. I mean, we already seen that so far this season, but they are for sure on the back foot this season. So it was an interesting way to start. Did you see the race, Smack?
yes, I woke up.
So you
I
saw,
went to sleep at four something in the morning. I
yeah,
woke up ready
yeah.
to sleep. Mind you, y'all know I cover boxing too, so I had to watch that boring headliner fight. But y'all can see my video that's posted on there about it. We're not gonna get into it. So after that, I had some other stuff to take care of, and I didn't go sleep till about 4 in the morning. Woke up, my alarm clock woke me up about 8:30. Started dozing back off. Woke up right at the formation lap. So yes, I
Which
watched the whole
which
entire fight.
formation lap? The first or second one?
Second.
Oh, okay. So you missed the first one. So you can see Carlos Sainz not getting off the line.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, he
So
pulled the no teasers. For y'all
he
who have
he
not seen the movie,
he
not
almost
seen the movie,
he
let
almost
no
did.
teasers.
That's what everyone was joking with. But then, so what happens if you cause an aborted start? You got to start in the pits.
Yep,
So he,
just like an
caught
iRacing.
caused an aborted start, went back around, went back to his position in the pits to start, and then his rear brakes caught on fire,
He was just having a
straight
bad
up
day.
ablaze. So immediately parked
So
out
is
out.
that technically would you consider his fault? Because if that would have happened, it could have happened while he was. Would you rather have it happen right there in the pits, or would you rather happen while he was racing?
Have what happened?
Because obviously he couldn't get it to go right.
Yeah, no, there was a hydraulic issue, I guess, in the gearbox
Oh,
or
okay.
something like
So he
that.
didn't do
Or
it maliciously.
no. That was no. What you saw was Hollywood drama.
Okay.
No, in the real life stuff, no. He just had either a mechanic or a hydraulic issue with the gearbox,
Mhm.
or something was wrong with his brakes because it seemed like his brakes might have been on the whole way through the track because they caught on fire as soon as he stopped in the pits, like immediately. It was weird, but yeah. So like I said, we had Lando on pole, Charles Leclerc in second, Oscar in third, Lewis in fourth. Um, so green flag, they had, Lando got a really good start. Oscar was able to sneak by. Uh, Oscar was able to sneak by Charles and take second place. And then you go into turn three, and Kimi Antonelli, he didn't miss his breaking point.
He locked
He
him.
he
He
locked
said
his
because he
he
said he
locked
did
his
not.
rears.
They
Yeah,
asked him. He
yeah,
said I did not miss my breaking point. I did not
yeah,
do it late. It's just that everybody else was breaking, and then when
yeah.
I tried to break, I locked him.
He locked up his rears, and so happened that Max Verstappen was his barrier to help him stop. So the four-time world champion was out the race, and Lewis Hamilton's replacement, Kimi Antonelli, who I think is going to be a great driver in the future if he can hopefully keep his seat.
Of course,
Um,
it's them.
yeah, it's a very interesting picture there, but yeah, it took him out
Definitely.
the race. As you can see, Kimi's left front suspension is completely broken there. His left front met Max's, I think, right rear and broke his suspension as well. So out early. That was interesting. But on the bright side, Max walked over to Kimi after the accident, and they just had a cordial conversation because Max can be a firecracker sometimes. So it's good,
I definitely thought, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I've only been watching F1 probably what 2 years, like really watching it
Yeah.
for 2 years. So
Hmm.
I'm used to the NASCAR. I gotta come holler at you, like holler at you. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might get. Granted, I ain't seen no khaki shorts. So I wasn't expecting the Ricky Stenhouse. He ain't had a Ricky Stenhouse attitude with the khaki shorts.
Yeah.
But I definitely thought Verstappen because from what I've seen and what I've read about him, I'm like, oh, he gotta let the young boy know, Slim. Hey, Slim, let me show you where you done messed up at.
Yeah. No, I mean, he walked over right to Kimi, and Kimi was like, he already raised his hand up, and he's like, you see his hand gestures. He's like, I'm a wheel. Yeah. He was like, it's my fault. I locked up, and that's what happened. And then Max was like, it's all good. Pat him on the back, and they kind of went about it because I mean, issues happen. You know,
Is that a rookie move?
no, it happens to everybody, especially at that turn. A lot of people had issues locking up their rears. Lewis locked up his rears in the race. I
Yes, he
think
definitely did. Yes.
Lando locked up his rears in the race. Like it's happened multiple times. It's just you know it's a what's it called, a side effect of that track because you're coming from really high speed to a really sharp turn. It's not even a 90-degree angle. It's worse than that, honestly. Um, it's not a hairpin, but it's a really tight turn. So to get woed up that quickly to make such a sharp turn, you're gonna lock up your rears. It happens. Um, so I mean, yeah, that happened. Lando was in control from early. You know, um, Williams' woes continued even after Carlos Sainz fell out. Alex Albon had to fall out the race too because his car started overheating. So they retired him on lap 17, and then from there, you had Oscar Piastri was chasing down Lando, and in F1 they try and give preferential strategy to the car ahead, pit strategy.
Yep.
And with Oscar chasing down Lando and pits coming up, Oscar's like, I need to get ahead of Lando as soon as possible. And he almost made the cardinal sin in F1 is don't hit your teammate. So
That was yeah. That was
that
when I saw that. I
was
said, "Oh!"
yeah,
I was like, "Oh yeah, this is about to be bad. This is about to be horrible."
yeah. So he didn't hit him thankfully. So that was interesting. So yeah, he made the dive bomb attempt or outbroke himself, but didn't hit Lando. Lando stayed in first, Oscar stayed in second. Lando got preferential treatment for the first pit stop, and things kind of kicked off from there. I mean, it was a pretty smooth race for Lando out front. Um, but I wanted to talk about that second Red Bull seat, like I was telling you before. You had Yuki Tsunoda, who is now in the second Red Bull seat after replacing Liam Lawson earlier this year. Yuki has thrived before at the Red Bull Junior team. He moves over to that um I don't want to call it explosive, but horrible, we'll say horrible Red Bull second Red Bull seat because they can't other than Checo and even with that it was still a an issue. They just can't keep um the drivers in that second seat because Red Bull they build the car around one person only, and that's Max Verstappen. So whoever's in that second car, they have no chance at doing well because they got rid of Liam Lawson because he finished I think last in the first four races of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Liam Lawson goes over to the junior team, finishes sixth. He's gotten points in two of the I think three races this season or something like that.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. Yuki finished in second. He finished in the 15th, but he was the last car running because of
Yes.
all the DNFs. Um, it's it's really disheartening to see. Red Bull needs to go back to the drawing board and
They gotta figure
figure
it out.
out. Hmm?
They gotta do something. They gotta figure it out.
Yeah, they're relying on Max too much. Literally,
And
max all their
obviously,
points.
if Max leaves, then what do you do? Like you make a great point. If
Yeah,
Max leaves,
yeah.
Red Bull, what are you going to do? So that means everybody's not him. So you
Hmm.
making this car for this driver,
Yep,
this driver.
yep,
Obviously, what he does, you
yeah.
cannot. It's not something you put in a factory and manufacture. That's who believes in a higher power, God given talent, right?
Hmm.
And obviously, he puts the work in to have that talent as well, skill, all of that. He's who he is.
Yeah,
Stop making the other car only for him. He can't drive both of them.
yeah. You want to win a team championship and get all the money that comes at the end of the season. You need to have two strong cars, not just rely all your points on Max and getting the driver title. So with Max out today, early in the race, you guys couldn't score any points because you couldn't give. And Yuki has proven to be a great driver. He has been proven to be a really great driver, or I guess a good driver. Regardless, he's a good driver at Racing Bulls. He was getting points. That second that junior team is doing way better than the senior team. That's a problem. So and please do not touch don't touch Isaac Hajar. Cannot say his name right because Isaac Hajar is the best driver they have right now at Racing Bulls, and if they take him over to that Red Bull seat, it's gonna kill his confidence, like it did Alex Albon, like it did Pierre Gasly, like it did Daniel Kvyat, like it did Liam Lawson. I mean, I can keep going on, you know? Like it's Red Bull, y'all need to get your stuff together. But anyway, with that being said, um, the only other thing we had from that race was Lewis begged to stay out and try and do a one stop, and Ferrari said no, let's not. Even though,
That man came in. He said, "I said no stop. I
yeah,
said no
he
stop."
said I'm fine on these tires. I don't want to stop. And I mean, they had over a pit stop lead over George in fifth place, so they could have risked it. They could have risked a one stop and been fine. Just see what happens. I mean, worst that could happen is Lewis tires would have fallen off, and Charles would have passed him, and then Lewis would have gotten new tires and finished in fourth place anyway. But no, they just said no. We're gonna just stick to our strategy.
Now,
I mean, I don't know.
with that, is Norris and Piastri
Yep.
1-2 combo.
Yeah.
McLaren is 60 points in front of Red Bull in the drivers' championship, right?
Um, I believe so.
So, from what I'm read from racing news, if I'm not mistaken, Ferrari already is like, all right, you got to win like 3 races for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Piastri is 61 points ahead of Max, and um, Lando is 46 points ahead of Max.
Mind you, when he won, he still was it was like well like 5 laps to go, I think it was. He ended up having damage to his wing, which I don't recall how he got that.
Lando had
'Cause,
damage?
yeah, he had damage to his wing, but they wanted him to keep racing, even though the damage couldn't like it was affecting his car balance. He ended up winning, obviously, but
Yeah.
Piastri was able to catch him, but he had to fight off, like you said, he had to fight off his teammate, and he had damage to his wing.
Lando got lucky at the end of the race because he came up upon that Bortoleto and Alonso battle.
Yes,
So
which
so
was a
Lando
great battle.
used them as a pick at the end of the race.
Hey,
And
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's what. Hey, when you got lap traffic and all that
hey,
coming up,
I do the same thing in iRacing when I have the lap car around. If I need some help, I use them as a pick. That's what you got to do. That's called strategy, you know?
hey, what they say, use all the track.
Yeah.
So, and that's what he used. So, shout out to McLaren for the 1-2 combo. They killing it.
Yeah.
Lewis finished fourth. He didn't get a podium, but Charles Leclerc
Yeah.
did get.
Yeah, Ferrari had some pace this weekend. They were, we'll call it best of the rest, because McLaren's just so far out up front. Like you said, they're 46 and 61 points ahead in the drivers championship. In the team championship, they're 207 points. 207 points ahead in the in the team championship. So that is literally if McLaren was to go and not show up to 5 races, Ferrari would need to get a 1-2 in 5 races, and they'd be
You
ahead by
cancel
three.
Christmas.
Hmm?
You can cancel Christmas after that.
Yeah, like, and even with that, they'd be ahead by, let me see, 207. They'd be ahead by 8 points essentially. That's not a lot.
Definitely
So
not. I
yeah,
mean, that's correct. Hey, McLaren has figured it out, and I'm
yeah,
when you got a team that's figuring it out with domin dominating tracks, and you have drivers that putting it to the pavement with Norris and Piastri. I mean, you're gonna have that. This is Ferrari's first year with Lewis, so obviously they gotta dial in the car, get him where he's comfortable at.
yeah.
Do I think some of it is on Lewis? Yes. I do
I
think
mean,
some of he. I think he's had chances. I don't know what's going on with the qualifying, but I think some of it is him. But also, like I said, it's a new team. Got to get with the new everything. They got to dial the car.
it's 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 uh it's Lewis getting used to the car. I mean, he's a tenth, 2 tenths behind Charles, and familiarity with a vehicle will give you those extra tenth or two. So that's just how it is. That's why Charles is faster because he knows the car. Hey
OJ,
OJ,
what's
how's it going?
good?
How's it going? Welcome back, man. Appreciate you showing up.
Oh, we gonna get to that, OJ. Don't worry, we gonna get to that.
So
Don't you worry.
yeah, but I mean, yeah. All that being said, shout out to McLaren 1-2 Ferrari 3-4. It was a pretty interesting race for the most part. But yeah, moving on to you want to get on to the boring race?
Yeah, so we gotta come back in what 30 seconds, so we going straight through.
Well, just go straight through. It's fine.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
go
Since
straight through.
since open wheel wasn't there's only one race, and I think the where's F1 at next week?
Silverstone, I want to say. Is that next week?
No, it's not next week.
It is. It is
Yes,
next
my
week.
fault. At 10 a.m.
Yes,
Eastern, they're going to be at
Silverstone.
the Silverstone British Circuit, the
Love that
British
track.
Circuit.
Lewis is.
What do you like about the track?
It's a fun track to drive, and that's Lewis's best track. He's won 8 times there. That's he's the most successful driver at that track for one.
Hey,
But
y'all
no,
gotta give my man his flowers if he do it on the first year with Ferrari. I'm just saying. Just saying.
he won last year with
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, with Mercedes. So I'd be damn happy if he was able to win that Silverstone again. That'd be 9 times at one track.
Hey,
That'd be insane.
I
So,
mean,
but it's a good track. It lends itself to some good battles. So, well, I mean, we'll see how that one goes.
and then we got the Honda Indy 200 at Mid Ohio
Oh, that is next week,
for
isn't it?
IndyCar Series at 1 p.m. July 6th. That's
Yeah,
Eastern Standard Time. So you got Indy 200 July 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we got F1 at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right,
yeah.
so that is for our open wheel segment. Now, on to the most one of the boring out of the three. Only one was born.
Out of the NASCAR races this weekend, yeah, yeah. That
Yes.
that truck race was a snooze fest. I had high hopes for that truck race. I really did. I really did. They performed well on road courses before. I don't know if it's a talent level.
I mean, this
Talent.
was their first time at Connecticut road course, too, racing in
They
Connecticut. So,
they've raced before at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park and had an amazing race. So being a brand new track is there's no excuse. I don't know if it's a talent discrepancy or if it's I don't know what it is, but that race was so boring. I was happy to see Jordan Taylor go out there
yes.
and set the lap record. That was pretty damn cool because being a sports car fan, seeing Jordan Taylor out there was cool.
He was in third for most of the race, too.
Yeah, yeah. Because he got moved out the way, I think at the beginning from Lane Riggs, and he just kind of settled in. Corey Heim did Corey Heim things, except this time he didn't have a stupid issue come up.
Yeah.
He just had a smooth race. And Corey Heim is a racing prodigy. The kid is fast.
I
So
mean, like they say, they some from what they were saying about Corey Haim, right?
yeah,
They feel he's just a kid who races should be racing on Sundays, but sometimes races Fridays and Saturdays.
yeah. I mean, there's no space for him to race
On yeah,
on
right now.
Sundays yet. I mean, we'll see because either 2311 will open up a fourth car for him, or possibly Legacy can bring a third car in for him if Legacy doesn't go to Dodge in the next couple years. So yeah, he'll either be driving for Legacy or 2311 in the next. You got Riley Herbst there next year, so I'm gonna say 2027. We'll see Herbst. We'll see not Love. Jeez, we'll see Corey Heim in Cups. It just
Yeah, Lime Rock,
yeah
I was disappointed in it as well.
yeah Lime
Didn't
Rockets.
get everything out I wanted to get out. I mean,
No, not at all.
with 5 laps to go before Corey Haim took the checker, there
Ugh,
was a little mix up,
stupid
and
restart. Just that's one thing that pisses me off about NASCAR. It's just a dumb restart. Like there's no need to shove your car in there like that. Like just be I don't know. I'd say be patient, but Chandler Smith decided to use Jordan Taylor as his I guess his stopping his brakes. That's it.
break.
Used him as his brakes. Shoved him completely off the track. Like you were back in like eighth at the time. What was the point of that?
Yeah,
So that messed up a really good finish for Jordan, who was driving really well for his first truck race. Um, Raj was doing pretty well.
yeah.
Um,
Raj was in the top 10. I want to say he was like seventh or something like that before all that happened.
yeah, he was. They both fell back to I want to say 24th and 25th. Jordan finished in 20th. Raj finished in 21st. V8 supercar driver Cam Waters finished in fifth, driving the 66 car for Thor Motorsport for Thor Sport. Sorry. So that was cool to see with another V8 supercar driver coming over. Um, and messing around in I guess stock cars. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
other than that, it was a boring race.
Yeah, so
So
we're not gonna spend too much time on this. Shout out to Corey Heim
yeah,
doing Corey Heim things.
good for Corey Heim. But on to Hotlanta. Let's get to the fun stuff. Fun
Yes.
stuff.
Now,
Xfinity.
mind you, I had to tell. I had my shout out to my boy Clean Cut. If y'all in DC, Maryland, Virginia area, y'all need them get a great from a ball head. They got a VIP package. They massage your ball head and all that crazy stuff. Or you need a taper, need your locks chopped off, whatever. My man's can do it. Shout out to him. It was his 40th, so I spent that night doing that. The problem was though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking. So I set my DVR for when
Mhm.
the race is supposed to start. I come home,
Mhm.
so I'm trying to catch the Deontay Wilder fight. Cause I'm thinking I'm trying not to look at my phone or whatever, so I don't miss so I don't get any updates or look at Twitter or whatever for
Yeah.
who won the Xfinity race. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great! I didn't get no notifications today. Great, NASCAR
Right.
app not working. Great. I get home, I watch the Deontay Wilder fight. I lay down. While I'm looking on X, and I'm still seeing
The
people
race is still
talk
going
about
on.
the Xfinity race like it's still going on.
Yep.
I said, you know what? Don't look. Wait till the morning. I wake up the next morning. I see that they was on a rain delay, and when I go to hit the to watch it, just thinking my stuff was on some new next level stuff where I'm like, all right, cool. Kind of find I'm thinking my thing gonna be like, nah, we know it's a rain delay. We're gonna record the race because it's gonna say Xfinity series, so we're just gonna record the race when it actually happens.
Right.
Nah, that joint stopped recording. I got nothing but them talking during the rain delay.
Yep.
Talking about
Hey, I my cable provider, YouTube TV, I've been using to record, and they extended that thing, so I got everything. So I don't know who you I mean who you
I mean,
got,
mine allows it to be extended. Like how many hours? I didn't think
but
we're
you
going to
gotta
have this issue.
put it to extend, right?
Yeah, it asks you
Yeah, no.
how long do you want it to
I
extend.
just set record program, and it does this thing, so I don't have to worry about all that. But with all that being said, Sheldon Creed was on pole, so yeah,
When they finally
that
got
that
going,
that man has to get his first win eventually because he has so many seconds and so many poles. I don't know what's worse. How long it took Daniel Hemrick to get a win, or how long it's going to take Sheldon Creed to get a win. But yeah,
mm,
he was on pole. Austin Hill, the Georgia boy, was in second place. You know,
he was my. If I was a betting person, he was the person I was going to go for the win.
yeah. I mean he's pretty good at the super speedway tracks. Um, had a really early wreck where the 16 Christian Eckes spun to 31, and they collected Josh Williams in the 11, William Squalich in the 18, and I'm not even sure who was in the 26, but it was a 5 car pileup early in the race.
Yes, it was. Perkins got Parker Redsclav. Perkins looked like he tried to clear himself. So if he's on the outside wall, Perkins was coming
Yeah,
and he kind of like went like right here.
yeah,
So that caused that like he wasn't all the way clear.
mm, yeah,
So
yeah,
that caused that first within the first full
that
lap.
first one. Yeah, it was a really quick one. And then Austin Hill had a fuel pickup issue. So your favorite was out quickly, down 6 laps immediately. And then yeah,
That's
we
kind of
had
hard for you to come back if you're down 6 laps,
yeah,
especially in a super speedway.
yeah.
That's kind of difficult.
It's happened before.
I ain't saying it ain't happened.
It's happened before. That was back in the day though, before they had all the big time drafting. But then yeah, lap 37 we had the wet rain delay for an hour and 19-minute rain delay. So, and then
I just like speaking on the rain delays, right? When you have
yeah,
these issues with these rain, I
okay.
always ask myself like, it's almost like when you getting ready to play a sport. You and I both play sports. So when you like, all right, game time is this, right? So you start put your headphones on, do whatever you gotta do to get yourself ready for that day,
Right,
to get yourself in the mode. So
right.
with racing, it's so much mental as it is. People like, oh, you're just sitting in the car. Obviously, they still work out, still got to deal with, the heat and everything. So they still work out, lift
Yeah.
weights, whatever. The thing is, mentally, you have
Hmm.
to reprogram yourself to get out of the mood. Because once you start a basketball game, if they stop the basketball game, that's it. Like when that pandemic happened, I think it was
Mm,
they was in OKC or Denver or somewhere. I can't remember if they was in where they was at when they made the announcement that okay, we got to cancel the game. And then, but for for racing,
mm-hmm.
how you have to you start and then it's an hour and something rain delay. So now I got to get out my car. I gotta because sometimes they let you stay in there depending, but once it's lightning and stuff, you gotta
Yeah,
get out the car.
you
So
got the
you out of
car.
the car now. You like all right. I just wonder what do they do. I gotta ask them when I next time I see some drivers. What do you do to keep your mind in play to know that hey, when you get that call, because
It's
I don't understand it.
it's different with racing because I know, I mean, with basketball, you have your halftime and you can kind of stay in the mood because you got you're doing with the Super Bowl.
Oh
The
yeah,
Super
with
Bowl,
the
you
lights
got
going
the
out. Yeah.
extended, you got the no, I'm saying in general, just like you have
Oh,
halftime and you kind of just, you're in the competitive atmosphere, then you stop, you go to the locker room, you regenerate and you come back. I said regenerate, you know what I meant, rejuvenate. Anyway, um, with football in the Super Bowl, you got your extended halftime, so you kind of, you have a lot more going on, so you kind of get out that mindset. You got to try and figure out a way to stay in that mindset. With NASCAR or not racing in general, you get out that car. It's different because when it comes to racing, you're you're by yourself, you know?
yeah.
So you can switch, I guess, who you are, if that makes sense. You get out the car, you're one person.
So basically,
You're
I'm
kind
a
of doing
different
your own
person when I
thing.
get my car.
And you get back in the car, you put the helmet on, you strap them seatbelts on, that's your time just to re-lock in.
Okay,
So I mean, it's
I see
possible to
that.
do that. So I think these guys are really easy, really good at compartmentalizing. So it's not really
All right.
an issue there.
So after the rain delay was lifted and they got
Matt.
back going,
Yeah,
what lap was that? There was a lap boy.
it was lap 40 something.
Yeah,
But yeah, he had a massive wreck.
Jesse Love. Yeah, I remember when I saw it. He had it was quite a few that got connected. He ended up messing up his bumper. They had to rip that off.
Yeah, he was trying to pass Sam Mayer, and
Yep.
Sam Mayer, there was a hole at the top that he went for that wasn't, I guess it closed too quickly. Um the question is, was it Love's fault or was it Mayer's fault for throwing a late block? But either way, it collected 9 cars. It took out Creed. It took out Sammy Smith. It took out Justin Allgaier. Of course, Love got some damage. A bunch of other guys got some damage. So that was one thing. And then later on in the race, Love gets into the same issue again. Overly aggressive, and he spins Harrison Burton after Harrison was having a pretty good
Yes,
run.
he did. Yeah, but Harrison was able to save that joint from
Oh,
going
it
into the
was a
wall.
it was a beautiful save.
Oh my gosh.
He's still spun and had to go and get some new tires after they popped, but that was an amazing save by Harrison to not get any damage there.
Yeah. So shout out to him for that one.
Yeah. Um, and then we had Jeremy Clemens. He had a fuel issue while running up front.
Yeah, shout out to
So
Brandon Jones taking stage two, hometown kid.
yeah, 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 yeah.
First stage win at his home track. So shout out to Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones has been, I mean,
He's
he's
been
won some, but you definitely hear his name a lot now.
Yeah, now that he's back and comfortable with JGR. He didn't have a good couple years with JRM. Like he left
Yeah,
JGR with JRM, didn't do that well. Went back home to JGR and seems to be running like the Brandon Jones of old. He hadn't had a stage win since 2022, and then he got one this weekend and he got one last weekend. So,
they figuring it out.
hmm?
They figuring it out.
Yeah, no, he's figuring it out. No, that's for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a good driver there. Um, but yeah, things started to get spicy towards
Whew,
the end of the race. Nick
man,
Sanchez grabbing that lead from Amarola
let's
with a
get on the
power
fact
move.
of how we said Jesse Love was collected in the wreck, right?
Hmm.
And first full lap. No, that was the one after that. But where the bumper had to come off and all that. Mind you, his grill is exposed and all. This man with like 5 to go, he was like in fifth to seventh place.
Right,
So still with a car that, hey, we're gonna get everything we can out of this car. This car checking or wrecking.
right. Yeah.
So when you got that, it's just like, yo, that shows the talent level of the team and the driver.
Him and his BFF out there working together, trying to work their way through the field. Hey man, you know them boys are tight. Look at you saw their interview during the rain delay. Him and Connor, you know, inseparable. Now him and Connor on track. We're working together to do what they got to do to get up there. So it was uh it was good to see. But Nick Sanchez and that big machine team were just strong. Nick Sanchez made some power moves out there.
Yes, he
Took the
did.
lead from Jesse Love. I can't believe Jesse Love was leading after all of that, but yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Sanchez took the lead from Jesse Love and just went on to take that dub.
Definitely got to give it up to Sanchez getting the dub.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
48 spiked. Nick Sanchez is his first win in the Xfinity Series.
yeah,
I've been watching him since he was in ARCA.
yep. Running for Rev Racing,
That
Rogers teammate.
yes, young guy. He's young. He's special. So
Yeah,
special. Very
yeah.
special guy.
Florida boy right there. I gotta say,
Of
throw
course,
it out there. It's a Florida boy.
of course, there's a Florida boy. Dang, y'all race year round.
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, we do.
I mean, we got some. I mean, you got the up north people, but gee, y'all gonna clean up. Y'all race year round.
Yeah, that's true. No, that was an overall good race, you know. And my boy Zilic had a good finish though too. So not too mad at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So moving on from now, granted, Xfinity was crazy.
Xfinity was crazy, but
If you saw now, OJ, we get into
the
Cup
fun
Series.
the fun part.
When I mean to tell you the Cup Series, not just the wrecks, because some of us have looked at things like I asked you before, and I read a blog from the woman. I know she did. Her name is Elizabeth. I forget her last name,
Hmm.
but she does the thing with Ash Vandalay. They do a co-stream co-host where
Ash
they go.
Vandalay?
Ash Vandalay.
Who is that?
She's on Twitch.
Bro, I'm
She's
sorry.
done some NASCAR stuff, and like she does NASCAR, F1, Indy, and all of that.
Okay, I
But
gotta check this.
yeah, when I was talking to you about four episodes ago about how you what makes a great race, right? And like
Okay,
it's the and so Elizabeth, she spoke on it
okay.
about, we can't always be okay with if we don't have a lot of wrecks and stuff like
A
that.
lot of
I
action.
Yeah, I enjoyed the wrecks, but I will say I am happy with this race. I'm not
Atlanta.
totally happy with the winner.
Don't even, don't even, don't you dare.
We'll get to that.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you
He
ever dare.
cool.
Don't you dare. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. How dare you? Let's just say Atlanta was an amazing track. Atlanta with the repave was amazing. The drivers didn't want the repave, but we got the repave.
Yeah, real
And
quick, the woman's name is Elizabeth Blackstock. Yeah, I was reading her blog one time, and that's what. But I will say now, mind you, like they were saying, the commentators were saying,
oh,
right?
I gotta
They,
switch my wheel.
oh yeah,
Forgot we're talking NASCAR. I gotta
oval.
switch the
So now
wheel.
we got to
Oh, yeah,
switch to
I
the
forgot.
wheel. He'll get it sooner or later.
Apologies.
He'll get it sooner
Apologies.
or later. You know what I'm saying? We make it good. He gonna have an assistant coming in. Phew,
Do it for me,
phew.
right?
Don't worry. So my thing is, they even said like, listen, these people kept saying no repave. Don't you repave this track?
Yeah.
Granted, I don't call it Echo Park. It's still Atlanta. Still Atlanta.
Oh, it's still Atlanta Motor. Yeah,
Still Atlanta.
that's definitely still
Not
Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Mama call it Atlanta. I'm calling it Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, they said don't repave it, but now this is one of the most. I mean, it had some good racing before, but man, this track lends itself to some amazing racing now that they turned it into a speedway or super speedway, whatever you call it. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the race. The Ford's horsepower on super speedways is phenomenal. You had Logano on pole.
Dying.
You had Logano on pole. You
Mhm.
had Penske taking up the first four spots because we're gonna call Josh Berry Penske because Lord knows he's a Penske. His car's built in a Penske shop. So
Okay.
Penske took the first four spots, and you had Ford in its first eight spots. Like Ford's Speedway program, their engines just produce power. Those guys know what they're doing when it comes to that.
I'm happy
So
for just this.
What happened?
I'm happy for the Fords. I am.
It's good for them. I'm just saying, like it's something to behold. Shout out to them. But yeah, Logano pole race getting started. Um, our boy Hocevar making up crazy spots early.
Boy, Hocevar, we'll
He
get.
is
Oh my
boys. That
gosh,
kid is quick. Sorry, the kid is quick.
the
Made up
guy, he's
23
Hocevar.
spots. 23 spots in 23 laps.
Yeah,
You had Hocevar stocks going up. If you had like green arrows going up, but then Chase Briscoe swap it and he was going down because he dropped 26 spots in the same amount of time.
yeah. I did not have Hocevar. Speaking on the brackets, I didn't even have him winning on the first race of who he went against, but we'll get to that. But yeah,
Yeah,
Hocevar,
we'll get to that.
we can't take anything away from Hocevar. The kid's amazing. Young kid that's really dialing it in and figuring it out. What do you have on your
I'm
screen?
trying to bring up. That was weird.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. I was
He's
trying to
gonna get
open.
banned on Twitch. If y'all not following him, make sure y'all follow my man Apex Hunting on Twitch.
Appreciate
I
that.
got him on one of my mini monitors here, and
I was trying
I
to
just
bring
happened to
up.
see something that looked like. I'm like, oh no, you might want to.
I was trying to bring up my bracket
Good
off
thing
in,
it's a
in
black
the
screen.
background somewhere else.
Good thing it's a black
But
screen.
since this is my main monitor, it brings up everything. I gotta switch that up somehow.
I think mine does that too. I don't know how you
It's
fix
really
that.
annoying.
So
But
when you
beside the
figure it
point,
out, you let me know.
I will let you know. Okay, see, that's kind of a little bit
But
better
back to
there.
the race.
Yeah, let's get to the race. So, yeah, anyway, um we had a weather delay, but this time only 14 minutes,
Thank you.
not an hour and some change for spring
Yeah,
for
Atlanta
spring
people was getting. I have cousins that was stranded at the airport.
in Atlanta
Yes, Atlanta had
for the
issues this weekend.
I guess for the lightning because it didn't really rain.
Some people was stranded for like 15 hours in Atlanta airport.
Interesting.
There's like Delta canceled flights.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it was others. I'm not just throwing Delta out there, but that's the one I knew family who were on. There were issues going
yeah,
on. And so it was just like some people stranded 15 hours
yeah.
in the airport.
That's wild. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, well, we had the issue, I guess. Well, I guess with sorry, the rain delay or sprinkling lightning delay, we'll call it. But we got back going green. Um, Seabell just happened to lose it. Happened to lose it. Tagged
That's
his
the
boy
guy I
Bubba.
can't never count out. Anytime you ask me about Seabell,
Yeah,
as long as he's not going against Bubba
I mean, technically he collected Bubba this one, so
or Ryan Blaney,
he
like
took.
when it's not that situation,
Yeah,
Seabell, you ask me like championship four,
yeah,
as long as the other two drivers aren't in it, and I put him right up there. I'm going for him or Denny Hamlin if they're in the championship four. I don't care. Like Seabell is just a guy. He's like, listen, I'm a racer. I'm going to race. He's
yeah,
starting to get a little personality, I guess, with him and stuff like
yeah.
that.
He is. Yeah, he is.
So
I'll
I
I'll
like
give it
that.
to
I like
him.
he's coming in his own. But y'all, we always want these personality people, but we also got to figure out a lot of these kids are young.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they are.
they come in, you're young, and you racing with grown men. Some of them have families. Granted, a lot of these people, especially in racing, I'm realizing they get married pretty young.
Got money.
These guys are getting
Why
married.
not?
I mean, NBA players ain't getting married super young. Let's be real. Let's be real. Just saying.
Anyway,
Where my man Colin at? Colin will back me on this.
yeah, you would. You also say shut up, Smack. Beside the point, that boy Seabell, he was doing pretty good. He got to the high line. He just flat out lost it. And when he lost it, he collected 5 or 6 cars with him. He took the um front front right splitter damage to Bubba,
Yeah.
which that kind of messed up Bubba's race for a little bit. Really messed up Ryan Blaney, took him out the race.
Yeah, Ryan was done.
Ryan was done, so that busted some brackets.
Brackets was
Austin
busted like right
Au-
after that.
Austin Dillon was taken out. Kyle Busch had some damage. AJ
Yeah, Kyle
Allmendinger
Busch.
was out. Yeah, so it was I think it was what 6 cars or so taken out in that first one. So that was an interesting wreck. Um, Unfortunate. Yeah, but we'll get to the other one later. Austin Cindric wins stage one, so that was good for him. Stage two. Stage two.
Stage two, if you didn't want to watch NASCAR, stage two is where you became a fan.
Stage two was the big one, the super speedway big one, the bracket buster.
I think it was lap 69.
Nice.
It collected 29.
It's a good number.
29.
It's a good number there.
29 cars.
29 cars in one wreck.
Who bracket
Absolutely.
still alive? That's what I want to know. Who bracket was still alive
We gonna get
after
to the
lap
brackets
69?
later, but yes, they that if anybody has a perfect bracket after that, you need to, give me your number. I'll play the lottery with you or something. We'll split that. I'm
I
gonna say
felt like this was March Madness after that because
yeah.
nobody got it right this year with March Madness.
If anybody got that right, I'm gonna play the lotto with them and I'll split 90-10. I'll give them 90%, I'll take the 10. I mean, shoot. Hey,
A
hey,
rabbit foot.
listen, listen. The lotto is what, 265 million? I'll take 26 and be happy. That's fine. Just let me get something. Because Keely, you can pick right. Try to pick up this in season challenge because ain't
Yeah, I
nobody
need
see
it.
that coming.
No, nobody did. I mean, granted,
That was
we said last week,
yeah.
this was a crapshoot.
It's a wild
Chance
it's a
to win.
wild card race, but I didn't see it happening like that. But
And it okay, let's get to Mr. LaJoy, part-time racer now.
yeah,
He came off the booth from Amazon is done with their 5 races
yeah,
with us. They're
yeah,
back on TNT.
yeah,
LaJoy hops in the car. He was in what? What car was that? Was it 01?
yeah. It's 0-1. Yeah, it's 0-1 because of his show Stacking Pennies.
Yes.
Yeah,
So he gets collected in this big race, and after he leaves the tent, they ask him, "What do you think?" He said, it's just I think I don't want to use the wrong word, and that's not what he said, but he basically was told them like it's not even the last stage, and we're acting like we had a bump. He used these words like a bumper car
yeah,
park. Like
yeah. I remember
it
saying that.
made no sense. So
Yeah,
do you think he has a point? Like, all right, there's a time to push and go all out. Grant, this is super speedway,
we hear
but
the same thing every super speedway race. If you have Joey Logano crying about it, then you got Corey LaJoy crying about it. It's the nature of the beast, especially at a track like Atlanta, to where it's not Talladega, it's not Daytona, and you see how aggressive they are there. So you're basically taking all that aggression and
boxing source, my man's JR, what's up? If y'all into boxing, anything boxing, he covers all boxing. Make sure y'all check him out. Great dude from the
nice.
DMV, covers boxing worldwide.
Yeah,
What's
thanks for
good
the
with you?
support,
We just
Boxing
talking
Source.
about Atlanta. If you caught the NASCAR race this past weekend, we talking about the Atlanta Cup Series race.
Yeah, just it's one of those things like you're basically taking all that aggression from Daytona and Talladega and you're condensing it into a track that has two less lanes or
Yep.
just about,
There's, yep.
and it's a mile shorter. So you're basically putting them in a smaller bull ring. Things are gonna
Okay.
happen,
Okay.
like don't if you don't want to, what's it called, that saying, you want to play in the sandbox, get out.
Hey,
Like
play with the big dogs. If you want to stay play with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
don't come crying about, it's good. Yes, you should um try it. It's a longer race, 200, whatever laps, 260 laps, and we were on lap 69 when it happened. But you guys just came from a rain delay. People are antsy. It's an aggressive race. It is what it is. I don't know. I I don't got time to be hearing these dudes complain. Like, yes, we have time, but I don't know. Sorry, I'm saying we have time. I'm saying I don't have time to hear these dudes complain. It's just because, you're going out there to do what you're gonna do. You know how aggressive these guys are gonna get on super speedway tracks. Is what you signed up for. So be gone with that.
Yeah, I
So
mean, after that, once they finally
yeah,
cleaned up everything and
all
found out
29
who was
cars.
going to the garage, who
Yeah.
was completely out,
Mm-hmm.
brackets busted for the in-season tournament challenge.
You saw Logano's car on the replay?
Did I see his car?
They show
I want to say no.
Logano's car going back to the pits.
Oh,
It's-
Carter Young and hop along.
Yo, his car going back to
Not
the pits.
like that. Hey,
That
Slim,
shit
that
was so
daggone car.
funny.
Hey,
That
Young,
shit-
I ain't gonna even hold you.
This was so funny. Oh man. Yeah, Danny's car was absolutely destroyed. They couldn't
But
get that
for a
fixed.
while he was just off.
A lot of people because I like NASCAR's new damage policy because they had that stupid DVP
Hmm.
stuff to where if you couldn't fix your car in 5 minutes, you're out the race. Now it's if you can't fix your car in 8 minutes, you got to go back to the garage and just fix it there. And
Yeah.
if you fix it, you come back to the race. That's so much better, you know. So Chase Briscoe was saying that they tried to fix his car. They got everything good, but then NASCAR came by and saw that their frame was bent, and we're like, nah, y'all can't race this
Yeah.
because look at Chase Briscoe's car wasn't even all that damaged.
That's the crazy part. Be the things. It's almost like with insurance, and they tell you, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's fixable." Then they go, "That little thing right there, yep, that's not fixable. That's not
Yeah,
fixable."
yeah. So it's unfortunate for him. Um,
After he got his first win at JGR in the Cup Series
last week
last week at Pocono,
they
and
say
you know,
you go from 0 to 0 real quick in racing.
oh, racing humbles you completely.
It does. It humbles you for sure. So after the wreck, SVG was running pretty well.
Hey,
I was happy to see SVG running pretty well on on an oval track. So we saw that. We
yeah, Reddick
saw
took stage 2, even though Chase was right there.
Chase got
Good
to the
second.
front by himself at
My boy,
first. He got up to
that's
the
your boy.
front.
I know that's your boy.
So
He
it
just
was
quiet. He just quiet, and he races race, and he get his points. And that youngin was right there. When I mean to tell you that replay and that picture of them being
that
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 close together.
that was an amazing stage two finish. Amazing stage two finish. Oh man, that was I thought Chase when they showed the side by side
Yeah,
little steel
I
frame,
thought Chase had it.
I thought so too.
I said, I know y'all not using this picture. This picture blurrier than a Motorola Razor. What the?
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
get some? We got iPhones, we got Androids, we got 25, the S Ultra 25. Everybody streaming on. Don't tell me y'all couldn't get a better picture than that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So that was wild. Um so I had to end the stage two. Our boy Bubba got his lap back after
Yeah,
all that
finally got back on
chaos.
the lead lap.
Finally. Um Starting to stage three is just when everybody started spinning.
Yes.
SVG spun.
Yeah.
Bubba spun by himself. Eric Jones spun by himself. David
That's
Starr
three
spun
cautions.
by himself.
Oh, that was 4 cautions.
Yeah.
Actually, it was up to 10 at that point. They got up to 10 after stars. With
So
less
many
than 60 to
cautions.
go. With less than 60 to go, I think that
Hmm.
was up to like 10.
Yeah. It was
So,
insane. And listen, I know we're gonna talk about brackets later, but I was feeling really good about my Justin Haley over Ty Gibbs pick
oh yeah, but
right
then he
up
got
until
hit by the 10, and he only had a flat tire, but he had mounted damage with 34 laps to go.
he had a flat tire, but it took them 2 laps to get his car up on up on the
That junk was.
it was so frustrating to watch them. I'm like, I
I'm
just
like, y'all can't get this going.
cue
What is the problem?
cue the Three Stooges music, trying to get
I
that
said, yo,
car.
I said, I be feeling bad for the AMR safety team in them because
Yeah,
some of them get out right, and
yeah,
they get out like some of them know what to do. The other ones just be looking like, and they
yeah.
don't have no quickness.
Well,
Some of them don't have quickness with them.
you want to try and get this one up? You want to try and
They're
get
like,
this one up?
I'm gonna go ahead and get out this. They're like,
We'll
yeah,
figure
get
this
up
out.
out. I'm like, get
We
out the
don't.
daggone car already.
Yeah, that was
Out the out. If he ain't out the car, get over
insane.
there.
And the crazy part is the 10 spun
Yep.
Justin Haley. You know who was behind the 10, right?
Who?
Ty Gibbs.
Yes. Hey, that boy. No. Hey,
He's
Ty Gibbs was doing his thing last night.
he was moving. The kid
I
was
mean,
driving.
not last. Yeah, last night. My fault.
Yeah, the kid was driving. He's gonna get a win soon. He's gonna get a win soon. Ty Gibbs has turned. I'll say turned his season around. He's turned his fortune around. He's a competitor. Sorry, a contender.
He's
You
not
know.
the golden boy grandchild where that's all you see him as. Granted, people said, he won Xfinity Championship right before he went to Cup. But everybody, oh, he's just Gibbs' grandson, so he's gotten everything for him. He's actually
No,
put in the work.
you gotta have talent to show for that stuff.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
that only gets you in the door when you got money. It only
Exactly.
gets you in the door. It'll get you a ride because you got money.
Yeah.
But it ain't
Exactly.
gonna keep you a ride, and it's not gonna keep you getting the notoriety of people talking about him now, not in a
Yeah.
bad light
Yeah.
of him fighting Sam May. No, he's matured, he's racing, and he's
Yeah.
doing a great job at it. He's gonna get his win soon.
So that was good to see. My other one, Zane Smith took the lead.
Yes,
Zane Smith took the lead, so I don't want to hear nothing about how Zane Smith sucks. Man
OJ.
took the lead. I'm just saying,
OJ, you said last week you was talking about OJ. You was I don't know if you're still in the chat, but you was talking about number 38 when we was doing our brackets. You
Yeah.
ain't had too many nice things. I mean, Shane Smith. I don't think he sucks. Do I think there's other people that's right now better than him? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and that happened. Hey, and that was
I
with
said
13 to go,
I
and
said
Hocevar was still hanging around all the way up to seventh.
yeah. And speaking of Hocevar, it's Hocevar, his right or his nemesis. Ricky Stenhouse took a penalty, went all the way back to what 20 something, and moved his way up to the lead.
Yes.
Ricky Stenhouse, man, he is such a good super speedway or speedway driver. It's
When you,
commendable, man.
when you
And
and,
I don't
and
even know how to say his team name. I feel like when I see how it's spelled, I feel like I'm hearing Goofy in my head.
oh, don't
Yeah,
worry. I'll mess up.
like
I'll mess up her name quick. Let me see.
it's Hyak.
Uh, hold on.
Tell me how you say that team's name.
What's the current?
It used to be
Yeah.
G.
Hmm?
I'm telling you, it sounds like Goofy.
Something is silent. Something in there is silent. Is it Yak Motorsports?
I have no idea.
The H might be silent. Or is it Hawk Motorsports? Maybe the Y is silent.
That could be true. It could be true. But the way I see it spelled, I hear Goofy.
But we got to, the last couple laps, I mean, we had,
It was such a good
Keselowski.
race.
I just thought Keselowski was going to say, hey, go ahead. Uh, he get the win. You know what he says? Hey, I appreciate all you guys. You guys did a great job. Hey, if you got American flag back there, go ahead and bring it out to the front for me.
Hmm.
That's what he always says. No, but that's just what he says.
Yeah.
And so I thought out those are the words I'm going to hear. I said, oh, the
Yeah.
Hawaiian bread roll finna win.
Listen.
I can go for some Hawaiian bread roll.
Listen, you can go for Hawaiian Bribble. This was the good part about the race. Engine number 9. All right, Mr. William Clyde Elliott II,
Youngin just said his
hometown
whole
boy.
name.
I said the whole William Clyde Elliott II. You know, them horns ringing at the
Yes, if
Dawsonville
anybody
pool
who
room.
does not know,
Yeah,
Dawsonville, Georgia's boy, the number one popular driver,
sound the sirens.
he said they have at this restaurant slash diner in Dawsonville.
Yep,
When he wins, they ring this siren like it's from World War II.
I've been there. I've been there. Oh, oh, sorry. Aren't you coming to the race in Atlanta in October?
Yes, I will be
That track's in Dawsonville, so we can go check out the pool room.
there. We
It's
gonna
not that far from the track.
he want
I'm
to go.
just saying.
Of course, he want to go. How the
I
food?
already
I
been there
don't care
before.
about Chase Elliott.
No,
How's the food?
the food was
You
good.
know I like to eat slim. And they'll tell
The
you, I
food
get
was
in the
good.
Discord. They be like, Smack, what are you eating?
The
I
food was
like to
good.
eat.
I went there with Garrett for the race I think last year. So,
Okay.
but anyway, beside the point. My boy Chase won the race. Awesome pit strategy call by Alan Gustafson. I thought he was gonna be dead in the water when they decided not to pit and stay out on those old tires. But just using that Hendrick power and having his teammate Alex Bowman
Pushing.
um
Yes.
pushing him, not only pushing him, but then not pushing Brad Keselowski. That was a big part of it because after Chase got free, you had Bowman lined up right behind Keselowski, and then Bowman just pulled off. He said, "I'm not pushing you to help you beat my teammate. You must
Yeah.
be out your
I mean, I
damn
mean, I
mind."
mean, you can't do that. I mean, if you want a team like that, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying you can't. We've
yeah,
had instances last year, year before that, where they've been trying to find out is Hendrick on the same accord when it comes to team, right? And you've been hearing Willie B's name. Willie B got collected early in that record in lap 69, so he's been out.
yeah.
He was out.
Kyle got collected
Kyle, yeah,
in the big
Kyle
one.
Larson, but he came back, but he still got collected in something else. I forgot
Yeah,
what it was. But yeah, and then only Bowman and him. and they made it work. And shout out to Chase Elliott. You want to know? I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? He's a good driver. I'm not a, like, he's not my favorite driver like yours. But want to know what you be like? You know, you just can't not like the guy. The guy. Let's look at the paint scheme, ladies and
Look,
gentlemen.
thank you.
What I
The
want
paint
y'all to
scheme.
focus on.
Look at the paint scheme.
I'm taking us off the screen, so I can try to just show y'all this.
Take off that thing that says the
Yeah, hold on. So I want y'all to see this.
yeah.
This paint scheme it was Dry for Design or something. It was.
Yeah, they used it. The
So they
Atlanta Children's
yes, the Atlanta Children's Hospital, 11-year-old at one of the patients there, he created this. He
she.
came out. She, excuse me,
Yeah.
she created this.
Yeah.
She came out when he was getting his checker flag. It was a great thing. So how can you not like this guy
It
with
was
these type of things?
so great to see. I'm trying to get her name again because I had it. I know it's Rylan,
Yes, it's something like
little
yes.
Rylan.
I think it
She,
is violent.
if you see, she has a metal leg amputated from the hip down. I think it's her right leg. And she won the competition to make that paint scheme, and she brought her brother with her. And if this don't choke you up, I don't know what will. But she took her brother with her to the track as her special guest and said he has missed so many of events because of me. I had to, do something special for him. That's
That's why I said when you got a person like Chase
man,
Elliott, some people don't like that. They think he's too,
too boring.
yeah, too
It's
mellow.
okay.
It's like, and I get like I mean, I was, but Bill Elliott was a great race car driver, and Chase is
He's
great too.
just like his dad. They're just quiet. They got their friends, but they're not going to give you a lot,
Yeah, like
you
I said,
know?
he's not my favorite, but
He
I respect the talent. And when, like I said, how can you not like the guy? I said, dang it, why he went. But the whole time, then they say, oh, the paint scheme is from an 11-year-old. You like, you know what? All right, good job, good job.
Yeah, man. That
He got to
was
come out and all that. That's what's up.
great stuff, man. It was great, great, great stuff. And he ended a 40 plus race winless streak. Everyone's trying to figure out when is Chase Elliott gonna win again. Oh my
He always
gosh,
wins
he's
though.
doing he's doing he's doing so little with so much because he's a Hendrick driver. Even though he is the top scoring driver at Hendrick, next to Willie B. You know,
Willie B's been there.
and I follow this page. I need to figure out. I gotta give them a shout out. They're on Twitter. It's called Winston Cup Points.
Okay.
They
Shout out to
basically
Winston Components.
they basically just do instead of doing the playoffs, they basically just do the old Winston Cup point what's it called point standings.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase Elliott just took over the points lead. If we
Chase
were
was a
doing the
44 race drought. Yep.
yeah yeah, so they Chase Elliott just took over. If we had the old Winston Cup point system with everybody falling out, of the race. So I don't know. It's cool to see, stacking it up with the old point system. But yeah, no. So he won, after 44 races, which is I think a year and some change. Good to see. I like to see my drivers win, especially
Now,
my top two drivers, Bubba and Chase. So,
let's get
oh yeah, yeah. You want to get to it?
let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. We got
All
to get
right,
to it.
let's do it. So, um, you want to bring up
We're gonna
the
bring up what the what Mr. Apex Hun Cows looks like before Atlanta.
before? Okay, yeah, let's do.
This was his before Atlanta.
This was yeah. This was
He had
I felt
Hamlin
everything.
beating
Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon. We
I,
had Bush beating Keselowski. I'll let you explain it. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I had Hamlin beating Ty Dillon because it's a speedway track, a super speedway track. And Hamlin's won 3 Daytona 500s, 4.
Yeah, please.
He's really good at speed super speedway racing, right?
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was a no-brainer. Hamlin's gonna take it. Bush versus Keselowski, I thought that was a toss-up because they're both decent there, but I gave the nod to Kyle Busch since he finished second in that three-way finish with Suarez and Blaney. You know, Logano and Bowman. Logano does better at super speedways than Bowman does, so that was easy. Same thing with Wallace. Wallace does better than Suarez. Nemechek and Barry, that was a toss-up. Gave the nod to Nemechek because he's been hot recently. Elliott versus Dillon. Y'all really need me to say anything about that one? Just saying. No, no, no. But Chase is good at home. So, I mean, that's we've seen that. As we saw today, the boy is good at home. It's a second win at home. Um, Let me see what else did I have.
To
Oh,
the other side.
Chastain versus Jones. Ross Chastain is good at super speedway racing as
Yes,
well.
I'm gonna pick him
So
over
that
Jones.
wasn't that hard. Seabell versus Stenhouse Jr. I probably should have went with Stenhouse Jr. on that one. Now I think back to it.
I would have said Bell just because he's Bell,
Bell is good,
but I
but
do understand Ricky Stenhouse.
it's at super speedways. You know that one in hindsight I probably could have went with Stenhouse. Briscoe Gregson. I feel like that Briscoe was self-explanatory there. Um, Byron and Priest. Byron self-explanatory there as well.
Billy
Blaney
B.
Hocevar. The way
You
Hocevar's
could
been
have been a
running,
toss up if you've been watching how Hocevar's been this year, but
but
I understand why you did pick him.
Blaney's good at Atlanta.
Yes,
He's good at Atlanta, so that I mean he's good at restriction plate racing in general. Period. Reddick and Larson. Larson doesn't have the best luck, so I
yeah,
was
that's
like Reddick's gonna take that one easily. McDowell and Allmendinger.
McDowell's been.
McDowell's been better at that too. Gibbs and Haley.
I don't
I
see how you chose Haley over Gibbs.
Haley has always been good by tonight. Haley was in front of Gibbs
Mm-hmm.
until he got taken out by Ty Dillon.
Yes.
Exact, and Haley has a win at a restricted plate race. Rain or not, he's always proven to be good in the Xfinity series.
Mm-hmm.
Haley was strong at restricted plate racing. So I'm just saying with that one. Smith and Cendric, I went out on a limb and said St. Smith was gonna be the upset there.
That's
So
clearly what you believe in an upset
I
because
believed in upset
Cedric
there.
literally has how many? Two, I think.
I believed in the upset. I think I like Austin Cindric, but I feel like he lucked into those wins. So
I mean, the super speedway.
I call it an upset there. And then Busher is just on another level. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him losing to Gilliland.
Hey, I want that car. I'm not like you know what I'm saying. I haven't followed Chris Buescher's career that long, but that
So
car,
yeah.
I thought that was the best scheme. Next to
Oh,
obviously
that cinnamon
Chase
toast car.
is an A1, and then that's an A2 type
Yeah, that
because of
cinnamon
the
toast car
meaning
was
of it.
beautiful.
Hey, when I mean tell you, I said, yo, I just want this car, and I'm probably going to get it
Yeah,
just because I like. I mean, that was like. Then he had like an orange bucket hat. You know, ever since I went bald last year, I got thousands of bucket hats. I said he had an orange bucket hat. I
yeah,
said, Slim, where you cop that joint? I
yeah,
need that the cinnamon toast. So
yeah.
that's yours. So we're not going to even talk about everybody, but as you can see,
So as you see, my bracket was all messed up because you go
because he
from
already had
that.
the winner as Byron, and that ain't happening. So,
Yeah,
so we're gonna show you now, man. Just show y'all.
I could still be partially correct though.
I mean, you got some wins, and let's see who
I
you
got
feel better.
Elliott and Busher making it to the semifinals.
Okay, you got Elliott Busher. Mm, Chastain finished over Bell. Well, Chastain and Jones is in, and Stenhouse Jr. is in, so no.
The only brackets I got right is I got the Smith Busher bracket right, and I
Yeah.
got the Nemechek Elliott bracket right. Only those two out of the eight. So I'm shooting
No, you
25
got
percent.
Reddick over Larson, right? But you didn't get Blaney.
No, I'm talking about the
Hosevar.
bracket, like the full
Oh,
bracket.
okay, the full bracket. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I got Smith. Yeah, Smith over Busher and Elliott over Nemechek.
All right,
So
let's check mine's, ladies and gentlemen. Mine's probably is worse than his.
I can't even
Now,
see that.
you can't even see it. I should have zoomed it in. I
You
don't know how
should.
to zoom it in. Yeah, I gotta forgive me. I don't know how to zoom that in.
I
I
can
don't
read
even
that
know.
though.
Yeah, that doesn't even work. Like, I don't even know how to fix that. I
That's
wish
fine.
I would have known that.
That's all good.
So, with that being said, I want to say,
You have Hamlin over Dylan,
yeah, Hamlin over Dylan.
Bush over. Wait, so you picked
Hold on, let me
kind of
pull
similar to me.
it. Yeah, so I had Hamlin over Dylan, right?
Yeah,
Bush over Keselowski, Logano over Bowman, Wallace over Suarez, Berry over Nemechek,
that's where we differed.
Elliott over Dillon, Chastain over Jones, Bell over Stenhouse. On the other side, I had Briscoe over Gregson, Byron over Priest, Blaney over Hosevar, Reddick over Larson, McDowell over Allmendinger, Gibbs over Haley, Cindric over Smith, and Busher over Gillian.
Listen, we picked basically the same except for three.
Yeah, I wasn't picking.
We only disagreed on three of those.
Yeah, you took Zane Smith, and I was not taking that.
Yeah,
Then you
and
took
Haley.
Sten. Who? Yeah,
Haley.
yeah. So we're gonna get off of that one, and we're gonna get to what the real one
The
is.
actual chaos is.
This is the real one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new one. After Atlanta, this is what your bracket might look like. Is your bracket busted or is it not?
I mean,
This is
everybody's is.
this is what NASCAR is after Atlanta yesterday. The Cup
So
Series.
I think what I'm gonna do now is refill out the bracket. I'm gonna keep note or keep stock of what I did throughout the times, and own up to I messed up on the first one. I'm gonna refill it out this time. So we got Dylan versus. Okay, hold on. We're going to Chicago, Chicago
Mm-hmm.
street course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got Dylan versus Kozlowski, Bowman versus Wallace, Nemechek versus Elliott, Jones versus Stenhouse, Gregson Priest, Hocevar Reddick, Allmendinger Gibbs, Smith Busher. Okay. You want to pull this out and want to do this now, or you want to pull the bracket and post it?
I'm gonna tell you. I can tell you now who I'm going with.
All right, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. I got so granted we're doing street course, so you got to keep
It's
that in mind.
Chicago.
So Chicago. So
We'll do one
Dylan
and one.
Kozlowski.
Yeah, what you got there?
I'm going with. I'm gonna go with Dylan. I'm gonna go with Dylan over Kozlowski. I'm going. Y'all know.
Uh,
I'm going.
Dylan. You said Dylan for you going Dylan?
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
agree.
at. I got it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got Dylan over Kozlowski.
yeah,
Bowman won last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I
Bubba.
have to go, and Bubba is not the greatest. He can get a top 15 probably now. Before he couldn't get that. So he's gotten better at these street course slash road course situations. I just
Yeah,
don't see it happening for him at Chicago next week.
yeah.
So I have
Bowman.
Bowman over him.
Yeah.
Neiman
So
checking Elliott, I have to go with Chase. Chase, it doesn't matter what you put him in. He's good. He's good. I gotta go with Chase. Stenhouse against Jones.
Uh,
It's like a 50-50.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say
Jones.
Jones. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Jones.
I'm gonna
I'm
say
not gonna say
Jones.
Stenhouse. Gregson against Priest. I think Gregson's a little too aggressive for that. I'm gonna go with Priest.
Gregson versus Priest. I'm gonna say Priest. Yeah, Priest.
Hocevar Reddick, I'm giving it to Reddick.
Reddick all day, all day. This one,
Dinger
next one,
and Gibbs.
this next one is
Ooh.
good. This is a good one right here.
Ooh. Anybody watch them in Xfinity?
Allmendinger
The
versus
past couple of
Gibbs.
years? Oh my
That
gosh.
that this could be the battle for the win. Honestly,
Hey, you know what?
who you got?
I got it. I want to see the young kid win, so I'm gonna go Gibbs. Even though I could see Dinger winning, they can easily say, "Oh, the Dingers won." And you know, it always rains in Chicago, so I don't. What is the weather? I gotta look that up next. Next, so I'm going with Gibbs over Dinger,
Um,
and then
I think I'm gonna say Gibbs too, just because I could see him finishing in fourth and Allmendinger finishing in fifth, kind of thing. You
okay, so
know,
then yeah, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, in this, it ain't about who wins. It's you just have to beat the person in front of you, just like the championship.
exactly.
You got to beat the person in front of you every these next four races. The next two races alone are street course then a road course. So when you brace your people, you
Hmm.
got to see who's good at what
Yeah.
and who's granted. Racing is you get a couple from the racing people up there that help you out, but a lot of it is on skill.
Yeah.
So and then you got Smith against Busher. I'm gonna still give it to Busher.
Oh, Chris Buescher all day.
So
He's
now
he's got the road courses.
now said mine. You tell me yours.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it'll be Ty Dillon
Okay.
for advancing to round three. So yeah, okay, my matchups. Dylan's gonna be Keselowski, Bowman's gonna be Wallace, so it'll be a Dylan Bowman matchup for round three.
Okay.
I got Elliott and Jones advancing out of those ones. I got Priest beating Gregson and Reddick beating Hocevar, Gibbs beating Allmendinger, and Busher beating Smith.
Okay. So
So
that's that
I think
division.
if we go from there, I mean, I can fill it back out, go all the way through again. But if we do it that way, let's see. I said
You
so
said
Dylan and
Dylan,
Bowman.
Bowman.
So
So who
Dylan
you
and
got from
Bowman.
them?
So Dylan and Bowman. I got
I got Bowman.
after that's gonna be Sonoma. So I got Bowman advancing to the fourth round. Elliott and Jones. I got Elliott advancing. So I'm gonna have a Hendrick round four. Bowman versus Elliott.
Okay.
And then from the other side, I said what Priest and Reddick. Reddick's gonna advance from there. Then Almendinger, Busher. No, I had Gibbs and Busher. Um,
I'm still taking.
I'm gonna say for Sonoma, Gibbs versus Busher at Sonoma is gonna be good because Busher's good at the road courses too.
Woes is
Oh man, that's gonna be tough. Um, Gibbs versus Busher at Sonoma.
Let me see.
I think I'm gonna give the nod to Busher there. I think I'm gonna give the nod to Busher because I think Gibbs might get too aggressive over in Sonoma
Yeah, Gibbs
and
finished
have an
D.
issue
He didn't DVP. That was 37th at
at Sonoma
Busher.
last year.
Where is Busher last year? Busher did not race last year in Sonoma. Don't
He
know
might
why.
have he might have been injured.
Yeah, he didn't. No, my fault.
No, he did.
My fault. I'm
The
tripping. I'm
priest.
tripping. Yes,
Yeah,
he's third. He got podium.
there you go. See?
My
Yeah,
bad.
so Busher over Gibbs at Sonoma. So it comes down to I think Dover is round four.
Dover's
So
next. Yes.
Dover's round
No.
four. So
No. Yes, my bad. I'm tripping.
yeah, I was saying no, it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
my bad.
So
Yes.
Dover's round four. So Dover, Bowman versus Elliott.
Yeah, I'm going
I
Elliott.
got Elliott. And then
Both of them have
Busher.
won back to back. Like one is one. Bowman won like 3 years ago. Then Elliott won 2 years ago. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, you already know.
But of course, you're going to go with Elliott. I
I'm going
respect it.
with William Clyde on that one. And then I said Reddick versus Busher. Ooh.
Over.
Reddick versus Busher at Dover. I'm gonna have to go with Busher. I think I have to go with Busher on that one.
Let's see. Who was the winner of that one last year? I mean,
Um,
Hamlin won last year, but
yeah. I mean,
you
Hamlin's
said
got.
you said you said you got so Elliott was ninth, Bowman was eighth. No, I'm tripping. What am I tripping off? I'm tripping. Elliott was fifth.
Uh-huh.
Bowman was eighth.
Okay.
And you said Reddick and Busher.
Reddick and Busher. Yeah.
Reddick was 11th. Busher was 17th.
Mm. Well, I still think Busher.
I gotta go with the. I agree with the Elliott over Bowman at
Yeah.
Dover,
Yeah.
but I have to go with. I'm going with Reddick over Busher, so it'll be a 23-11 and a Hendrick showdown.
So you basically got Reddick versus Elliott going into what's round five? Is it Indy?
That might be. I think it is. Let me double check. I think it is. That's like July 26th, yeah. July 27th, I mean.
It is Indy. I got it right here. So Indy is round five.
I'm taking Reddick.
You taking Reddick over Elliott?
I mean, to me, that's gonna be a great one. I don't think like that's a clear cut, but both of
Yeah.
them are good. I don't know.
I'm taking Elliott. I'm taking Elliott over Busher.
I'm 23-11 before anything, so I'm going Reddick, and I like Reddick, so I'm going Reddick.
You know Reddick's one of my favorite drivers too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I like I said, I don't see him
Of
getting
course, you
to the
got to go
championship.
William Clyde. Okay.
No, I don't see Reddick getting to the championship. I don't see him outdoing Busher at Dover.
Oh yeah,
So
you do have Busher, and then of course you're gonna say Busher. You're gonna take Elliott over Busher.
yeah, I'm taking Elliott over Busher at Indy. So
It's interesting.
yeah, I think that's how that's gonna go. I don't know. I don't see Roush being strong in Indy. Maybe the Fords might be, but yeah, no, I think Hendrick has something to prove at Indy,
So you're
especially
looking.
after Kyle didn't come out as well for the 500. I think Hendrick Motorsport is coming out guns blazing for the
So
Indy race.
saying that
The what?
this could be Elliott's tournament.
Yeah, That wasn't any bias. No, that wasn't any
I
bias. I
mean, he
promise you.
had. I mean,
He's been consistent. That's his calling card. Is he's been consistent.
that's the question to be asked, ladies and gentlemen. Will
So
Elliott be the NASCAR Cup Series in season champ?
I'm gonna refill out my bracket now
Yeah,
that it's been busted and adjust it just to show the progression and see how close we can get to picking out. I mean, I had
yeah,
Elliott going to the championship anyway.
yeah. You say him against Willie B.
Yeah. So
I
and
had Willie B against Hamlin.
yeah, and I only chose Willie B because I feel like he's always finishing in front of Chase. That's just
If
what it
you
is.
ask me
Willie B
if
is the
Willie
strongest.
B's in the championship four
Yeah,
and it's the last race,
yeah.
and granted, I would like if it was him and Hamlin running right, and they running like I don't care 10th and 12th.
Hmm.
I'm going. I would like to see Hamlin win, but Willie B doesn't matter. He figures it out.
Yeah.
Now I will like that. Neither one. No, Willie B. He was Cup Series last year, right?
What happened?
Champ last year.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the champ last year. It was Logano.
Yeah, Logano. I forgot. I knew
Shouldn't
as soon as
shouldn't have been
the
the
guy you
champ
don't
last
like.
year. No, just like that's such a stupid. He got in on technicality because Bowman got disqualified.
Yes.
Man
So
was like 15th in
he
points
has
to win
not
the
won a.
championship.
So Willie B has not won a championship. So just think if you had people who never won like championship for. Say you had Willie B, right?
Hmm.
Annie Ham, Reddick, and Bell. Just think if all four of them was in it. I would love that because all of them are new. Nobody has won one.
I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be
Now,
nice.
that's not saying Bubba couldn't be in there, but he's on the outside looking in right now.
Yeah,
If we go to the points, he's on the outside looking in.
yeah.
I think he's one below the cut line. He's number six.
Wait, are you talking about? Oh, is he?
About to bring it up. About to bring it up.
I got it right here. Bubba is no, he's 13th right now.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, is this covering the chase or is this? No, these are the actual points. Chase moved up to second. How do I see what the chase
cut
is?
line. Bubba has 428 points, but I thought it changed after yesterday's race. Where is it at? I think I have it here. Hold on. So
Push
yeah,
him.
right now they have he's minus 203 to the base two playoff points. And you
Yeah,
got Ryan Priest, Austin Cindric, Eric Jones for the 16. Everybody has a win except Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Priest, Austin Cindric. No, Austin Cindric has a win. Why is he 15?
that's what I'm saying. It's
That can't be right.
they don't have the playoff points like up. They only have like the actual NASCAR points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have the points. They don't have the playoff standings. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't come. I mean,
which
maybe
is
because
weird. I
it's
don't
Sunday.
understand why they have that. Like people, they'll keep talking about the points championship, but yeah, they don't show it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I probably will come up tomorrow. Only because it's the weekend and they raced on.
No, I mean, you should have it somewhere anyway. They don't have it
Yeah.
anywhere.
From what I thought he was one down. Like he wasn't
That
on.
Bubba was one down?
Yeah.
Oh,
Below the cut line.
here it goes. Is this it right here? Okay. Bubba, if this is the right one I'm looking at right here, winless drivers. Oh no, this is old. Because he was plus 61. He's not plus 61 anymore. So, oh, here it goes. Okay, updated. Found it. Bubba is, oh, he's on the cut line. He's plus 23 right now. Right now, Bubba is plus 23, but he is in 16th place. So if there's one more winner that's outside the top 16, then he's out.
Yep.
Um,
And
Tyler
anybody,
Reddick
hey, you
is
got to
plus
think.
128 right now.
We got the road course. You got to put people. I mean, SVG. They need a repeated winner to help Bubba. Can't be a new guy.
If not a repeated winner, it has to be somebody from 15th on up. Bowman, Busher, Reddick, or anybody who's won already.
Yeah.
Anybody else 17th and lower will push him out.
So I mean, Bubba's got
So
his work cut out for him.
yeah,
I mean, we still got Dega.
Dega's in the playoffs. You talking about
That's
Daytona?
true. My bad. Yeah.
Oh
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, we got Daytona. Yeah.
So
So I don't know. We're gonna see on that one. That's gonna be an interesting one.
yes,
But you know, with that being said, um, next week we're gonna have some good racing. We're gonna have Indy is next week. F1
in
is
Mid
next
Ohio,
week. Indy's at Mid Ohio on July 6th.
6 at 1 p.m.,
Yeah. F1 is at Silverstone, the British Grand
10 a.m.
Prix,
Eastern.
which is always a good one. And then we got
Trucks are
Xfinity.
taking like 3 weeks off,
Yeah. So we got Xfinity and we got Cup at the Chicago Street Course.
and it is a 26% chance of rain on Sunday.
I mean, they have rain tires, so there
Yeah.
won't. The only way that we'll get a weather delay is if there's lightning or there's a tsunami to where the
But
rain
the past
tires
two
can't
years has
tread.
been, they've been so obviously, these are guys who most of them aren't used to driving in the rain on a regular, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, you ask me the
I could do
favorites.
it.
You got SVG, you got Chase Elliott, you got any Gibbs. You have a lot of guys that I think Bowman he can win again.
Yeah.
I think that's an open. It's a lot of people that can win. It
These are the
just don't
best
get caught up.
these are the best stock car drivers in the world, so
Yeah, I
they
mean,
they'll they'll acclimate to the conditions, rain or not. Like they'll be fine.
yeah, just not every day that they race on like other people.
Yeah,
So
they'll be good.
uh,
But no, I'm looking forward to next weekend. Um, whatever we get next weekend will be better than that truck race.
shout out to Corey
God,
Heim
that
though.
was bad. Yeah, shout out to Corey Heim, but man, that was such a horrible race. It was so boring. So I know every race we have next weekend is going to be way better because NASCAR put on a show at Chicago every time.
Yes,
Indy is always entertaining at Mid Ohio, and F1 at Silverstone has not disappointed the last few years. So looking
and
forward
the
to number
favorite
one
to win.
is probably the hometown boy Lando Norris. He just and Lando Norris just got a what's the name stand named after him at the track
Must be
to
nice.
honor him. So yeah, he's the favorite to win. So we'll see how it goes. You know, it'd be nice to see Lewis get his ninth win at Silverstone, but Ferrari don't got that pace right now. So unless they pull something out of their place, we'll be fighting for third and fourth again, like today. But it's all good. It's a good time. You know, I love watching racing regardless, so I can't complain. you your volume went away, Smack.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Hey.
I think IMSA has the weekend off.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so
IMSA's off. So yeah, like I said, all we got is IndyCar, F1, and NASCAR. So it should be a good week.
now, so with that being said, we do appreciate all of you all
Yes, yes. Thank you to everybody
rocking
who's
with
been
us. Thank
watching.
you. Thank you for everybody that came out. Shout out to the boxing source. Shout out OJ and everyone else, the lurkers and everyone watching on the Twitch side of Apex Hunting on Twitch TV. We appreciate all of y'all for coming out. And like
Yes, we do.
always, we love racing. We got a passion for it. Oh, before we leave though, we must touch up on how our team, you know, Drive Trainer Motorsport,
Oh yeah.
definitely took the checker in Watkins Glen on
Yeah.
iRacing this past Saturday morning. Shout out to Kyle, great crew chief and driving. Uh, Shout out to Bowie and shout out to Miles. Those three, Bowie was figuring it out how much to save. They were in the negative, and then he got it to a positive .8, I think.
I'm just saving enough fuel. We just basically had
Saving,
to.
and we had enough to do a burnout.
Well, yeah, one loop of a burnout, and then
Yeah.
we ran out of gas.
So shout out to them. This is our first win. Shout out to all our sponsors. If
Yeah.
anybody's looking to sponsor us, you can either reach out to Apex Hunting or you can reach out. I mean, you can send me a message. I'm just going to send it to either them or to the team owner, Andre Jameson. But you can follow us on Drivetrain or Motorsport on Instagram
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah,
and on Facebook.
yeah.
So make sure, and also our team did the IRL Sebring 14 Enduro
Overnight, 14 hours overnight at Sebring was treacherous for
with
them
the rain
boys
delay there too.
with the rain delay. Yeah, shout out to them. They started in 44th place and got up to 21st within the first hour. They finished P17 overall and P6 in class. So
Shout
shout
out
out
to
to
Gabe,
yeah,
Andre, and Austin.
yes, and Austin. Yep, yeah.
Shout
Good
out
good stuff to
to
them.
who's on the pits?
Oh, Mitch is in the pits.
Mitch. Shout out to
Yeah,
Mitch. I didn't get his name wrong.
yeah. No,
So
it
definitely
was a
shout
good
out to
time.
them. Next one is, if I'm not mistaken, at Atlanta.
Atlanta Motorsport Park in October.
That's in the fall. I will be there for that.
Yeah, yeah,
So definitely will be there, and just can't wait. Love getting out there with my team, being any type of help that I can be. I will not be racing that race, but I will be there in the pits. So I might at that time be able to go live fully
yeah,
here at the track without no problems. But we will. I want to get the setup good, so when I do take it to the track, you guys can actually see everything the whole entire time. So I just got to make sure have everything so we can do that. But like I said, want to appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all make sure if y'all not watching this live, but if you are watching live, it's free. Hit the thumbs up on our YouTubes. You got Apex Hunt's YouTube and you got my YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you know every time that we drop something, you get a little notification. But other than that, y'all follow us on socials at Apex Hunting, Smack Like That on all socials. You can find us. We there. On Facebook,
yep,
Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. We all on there. But
yep.
y'all know what it is. Keep a go smack mentality. Ain't too much you can accomplish. You got any final words, mister?
Oh man, no, it was a good week of racing. Looking forward to next week, like I always do. And thank you to everyone who gives us the support, watching our podcast as we figure out all of this, all this amateurism that we're going through, but really enjoy just sitting down and talking racing. This is a an outlet for us. So thank you to everybody for watching. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next podcast.
Y'all bees, y'all gonna catch us next week. So make sure y'all got your notifications on and y'all following us on the socials, and we'll let y'all know next time we go live. Till next time, smack like that.
Appreciate y'all. Be easy.